What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about why the rental car business is going to be booming in 2023. We're going to talk about all the things you need to do to set up your rental car business, what you should look for, and why I believe that the market is going this way. And we're not talking rideshare apps. We're actually talking about the real rental car license, the real rental car business. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. So why is the rental car business going to be booming in 2023? Now, I've talked to multiple dealers in different states, and they've all had one thing to say, that the tax season is not looking that good. People are just simply not buying cars for several reasons. One, the car prices are way too high and their dealers are stuck with the overpriced inventory. Two, the banks are not lending because they're being more restrictive, so less people are qualifying. And then number three, the down payments are much bigger because the banks want to offset their risks, and the tax returns are just simply not there. Now, this was a situation several years ago when I started my rental car business. I've talked to a few of the dealers and everyone keeps asking, do they have buy here, pay here? Do they have rent to own? And it's becoming more and more popular because there's a lot of people that don't want to buy a car and carry monthly insurance and the overhead and the maintenance and everything else like that. So I believe that this next generation is going to be giving birth to the rental car business. Now, I'm going to be jumping all the way back into the rental car business at my current location here in Fremont Street in Vegas. And I'm going to be renting just regular cars, economy cars and commercial vehicles, because I believe that's where the most demand is going to be. And I do not do daily rentals. I do weekly rentals because I want people to keep my car for a number of days. Now, I know a lot of people watching this are probably going to get upset, but I'm going to tell you to stay away from Turo and other rideshare apps because when you do this type of program, they eat up too much majority of the profit. So you won't be able to pay down your loans, won't be able to pay out on your depreciation, and a number of factors. But we'll get into that here a little bit later. What I want to talk about now is why I believe this model is going to be successful moving forward. Now, as we talked about, as more and more repos start piling up, and I see these at the auctions, I see these when I'm talking to the bankers, a lot of them are really afraid and they're actually hiring more collection managers to chase people that are not making their payments on their cars. Now, I believe this trend is going to keep going for the next 2 years. People eventually are going to start walking away from their cars because as car prices come down, if you paid $45,000 for a, Tahoe, and then now you can buy the exact same one for $28,000 or $30,000, you're gonna be like, why am I gonna be upside down 10 grand? I'll just buy this one and walk away from this one. It's almost like the 2008 housing crisis. Now, we're a little bit away from that because there's still money floating out there in the economy, but it's slowly shrinking and it's burning very quickly. And so once this demand goes away, that's when it's going to get really scary. In another probably few months, when people run out of money, the tax returns, like I said, are not going to be what they thought. And then as dealers start to basically collapse, dealers are going to start losing their flooring lines, which are lines of credit. What they do is every few months, the creditor will run what the equity is in their line. So if they have $1 million worth of cars, and let's say that the average loss per vehicle value is 8 to 10% a month, you're talking about $80,000 to $100,000 off their $1 million line. Now, it's in these dealers' contracts, and you could read this if you're a dealer, that at any time the flooring company can come up to you and say, hey, we just ran the books on your cars, and I know you owe $1 million on them, but the vehicle value is $800,000, so we need a $200,000 check like right now. And now these people are going to be freaking out trying to come up with $200,000 at a moment's notice. And this is what's going to start the trickle effect of a lot of these dealers going out of business. But that's on the dealership side. The reason why I believe that the rental car business is going to be booming is people just simply can't afford to get into these things. And as these banks get more strict with lending, they have no choice but to pretty much just tighten their purse strings and wait it out. Now, during this time, buy here, pay here dealers and companies that are going to start doing rental cars are going to be booming. I've already gotten a huge demand, lots of emails, texts, people looking for something for short term. Even myself, I sold my Audi R8 about a month ago to a buddy of mine, and I'm currently renting a car for 1 month. Now I have a company contract through 6 where I'm paying $2 grand a month for a BMW 8 Series. Now I know it sounds crazy paying $2 grand for rental, but it's still cheaper than renting on like Turo or something else like that. And there's going to be more and more people that are looking for this. Plus, with the generations moving forward, people don't want to deal with the headache of buying cars, paying the insurance, and doing all that other stuff. So I think more people are going to start catering to this. I started hearing whispers of Amazon, Uber. I think one of these other rideshare companies, everybody's coming out with their own rental car platform because they believe that that's going to be the future. A lot of these people are going to be working remote. They're not really going to be worrying about buying a car, so therefore they're just going to rent something when they have friends in town, when they need to go out grocery shopping, whatever they're going to do, they'll just rent a car for a day or two instead of carrying that massive overhead or that massive debt when it comes to some of these newer cars. And the other reason why I believe that this is going to be more of the trend is because cars, not even like used cars, let's just focus on new cars right now. New cars have never been more expensive. I remember having a conversation with my parents talking about how I'm looking for a new car, and they're like, I don't know why you're trying to buy one of these, over $100,000 cars. Just pick something simple, right? And when I was moving, because I actually just moved to my new place, I switched in the BMW 8 Series for a brand new GMC Yukon Denali. Beautiful truck, love it to death. And my parents saw that in the driveway, and they're like, why don't you just buy something simple like this GMC Denali? I'm like, that's a $100,000 truck. And they laughed. They didn't believe me. I had to literally go to Car Gurus and Auto Trader and show them the pricing of what dealers want for these things brand new. It blows my mind. I showed them Escalades are $120 to, if you get that Blackwing edition, I think it's like $180,000, and it really changed their perception because my parents haven't bought a new car since like the 90s. So to them, seeing a new car cost just as much or more than their first house that they purchased back in the 70s and 80s, it's insane. And that's the trend we're getting to is cars are becoming so unaffordable that people are not going to want to buy electric cars. They're not going to want to buy the newest, latest car. They're just going to rent because why? What's the point of paying a average new monthly car payment is $700. And the average down payment you're going to need now is about $8,000 to $10,000. So if they can't afford either of those two things, don't even get me started on insurance. My insurance literally doubled. I had no accidents, no speeding tickets, but for some reason Progressive in their infinite wisdom said, well, rates are going up, people are back on the road, the pandemic's over, you need to pay up. And so all these things factored in together are going to push people more and more to the rental car model. Now, how can you take advantage of this? This is something I've been preaching on this channel for years. You can get started on Turo. There's nothing wrong with that just to get started. But once you start renting out to the general public, you need to be licensed, insured, bonded, all that fun stuff. Now, I know it's extremely hard to find this information online. I have a video explaining how to get your rental car license and some of the steps to go through. Now, unfortunately, every city, every state is different. And the hardest thing you're gonna have to find is rental car insurance. It's very expensive. In some states, you have to have 5 to 10 cars to even start a policy. That's why if you're going to get in the rental car business, you must be somebody that's experienced, knowledgeable, have money, and have credit. This is one of those businesses where I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of these fake gurus will tell you you can start with just as little as $100. This bullshit. You got to have good credit. You got to have at least, I'd say, about 60 grand in the bank, and you have to own about 5 to 8 cars. You don't have to own them outright. They can be in your company's name, but these are some of the things you're going to need to start building your foundation when it comes to that. Now, if you're an actual dealership, it's even better. It's even easier because now you just call up your insurance company, tell them you want to add additional binder for rental car businesses or loaner cars, and you can start loaning out your cars. Here in the state of Nevada, we have loaner plates, so we can legally put them on our inventory and loan them out to people or rent them. Where other states, you have to file for a separate license. You may have to register the cars in your dealership's name, but you never, now I'm going to repeat this again to you dealers, you never ever rent a car with your dealer's plate because it is 100% illegal. And if they crash the car, whoever crashes it can sue your dealership. Not only the person that they hit, but the person that crashed your car. So don't do this. I see a lot of these exotic rental car companies doing this shit, and it's an absolute joke. Pretty soon, me and Rob Freddy, we're actually going to have a new course coming out for exotic rental cars. So this way we can educate you guys on how to actually set that up, what to do, and the whole process of that. But that's a completely different video. But I want to focus on the cheap economy cars because I believe right now that's going to be the biggest demand. People are going to be dying for these things. And also, I'm going to be doing commercial vehicles. Box trucks, utility trucks, work beds, stuff that people need to actually make some money and get forward with their work. Now, this is something I'll just share for free. Look in your area. If you need a box truck with a lift gate, try calling Enterprise. 90% of the times they're already rented out. And if they're not rented out, they're anywhere from $200 to $500 per day, just depending on the demand in your city. And these are some of the things that you could buy these trucks for $10, $15, $20, $30,000, and your ROI is insane. I've seen people spend $100,000 on a Tesla Plaid and rent it out for $150 a day. Or something like this, you could spend $20,000, $30,000, get a good work truck, and get $200 to $300 a day. And a lot of people that rent them usually keep them for a longer time. And like I said, my rental car company, I will not be renting by the day. I will be renting by the week. I don't want the headache. I don't want to be washing cars every other day. I want people in there long term. So I'll give better deals for people that take my cars, because Vegas is one of those cities that actually people come here to visit, to travel, to do business. So it really breeds the fact that this business will do well in this particular area. Now, with you guys, I would definitely check your area, see if anybody's doing daily rentals, weekly rentals. There's even companies here in Vegas that do hourly rentals. I don't really do that. I'll do it for like when I had exotic cars, when you do like model shoots or something like that, or they're using the car for a movie, but that's about it. But everything else, I want to do 100% weekly. So I'm going to be doing a lot more rental car content coming up here soon. If you have any questions, please put in the comment section below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. I know the rental car business is a fun business and it's very lucrative, but at the same point, you have to do it correctly. You need to make sure you're insured, you're licensed, you're bonded. Never, and I don't care who says this, you cannot rent out a car to the general public unless you're licensed. I don't care if your attorney wrote up an ironclad contract. It is all bullshit, because what happens is when one of your customers crashes that car and their insurance doesn't pay, you have to call your insurance. Now your insurance will be like, oh, you're renting the car out? Denied. Your loan, your bank or your leasing company find out that you're actually renting out your car or leasing it out, they're going to come and repo your car, because that's actual default. You're not supposed to do these things. And so little by little, more and more people are getting repoed. Now, I have a whole other video. I got an amazing video coming up with two things. One, I'm going to be showing you how to buy and sell cars online. This video is going to be epic. That's going to be next Friday. And then the Monday after that, I have an amazing interview with a gentleman from a leasing company. And I won't give it away, but we're going to talk about how easy it is to get exotic cars, and even if you want multiple ones, in your name, where you can buy them, get affordable loans, do some leasing, and not have to break the bank and not have to worry about basically getting your credit run 60, 70 times. And the best part is their program, it doesn't actually report to the credit bureaus. So you can buy one of these exotic cars and not have to worry about messing up your debt to income ratio. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much again. Once again, put it in the comment section if you have any questions for me, anything about the rental car business, or if you just want to say hi or say something funny. I truly appreciate it. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Lucky Lopez. And you could do me a huge favor. I'm in my new studio. I'm getting ready to tear this down and start painting, but it means a lot to me if you guys like and subscribe, because like I said, I make all these videos for you guys, and if you appreciate the effort, that will go so far. We're at 200 and I think 12,000 subscribers. My goal for this year is I want to get to 350,000. I said 500 earlier, 500K, but we'll see what happens. But I'm just humbled the fact that you guys are still here watching, and I love sharing the information, knowledge, and we'll see you next video.